My name is Larry Craybas at 15 Kellogg Street in Bethel, and for the record, this is my personal statement on this matter. What I'm about to say does not represent the position of anyone on the Board of Education. However, since I am a member of the Board of Ed, I have found it necessary to refer to Board of Ed practice, established law, and precedents when I personally address what I believe to be the spirit and intent of this proposed ordinance. The purported rationale for the need of this ordinance is driven by accusations that the school system violates SEEC law. And I take issue with this because this is portrayed as regular and universal behavior within the school system. I will reference research I have done on this matter while sitting on the Board of Ed so that my personal position is stated clearly. The proposed ordinance duplicates the letter of the law stipulated in Connecticut General Statutes 9-369B. Why this ordinance is deemed to be necessary when a state law already exists prohibiting the expenditure of public funds relating to a pending referendum does not make sense. The state's Election Enforcement Commission, known as the SEEC, clearly states in State Statute 9-369B that, quote, no expenditure of public funds can be made to influence a vote for or against a referendum question. This ban, however, only applies when a referendum is pending. And a pending referendum only occurs when the necessary legal conditions have been satisfied to require the publication of the notice of the referendum. I have witnessed and participated in reminding school district personnel and Board of Education of their responsibility to adhere to state law regarding advocacy on any issue and in the expenditure of public funds in doing so when a referendum is pending. I offer no guarantees, but know that copies of the SEEC document entitled Prohibition on Expenditure of Public Funds Relating to Referenda, the CABE, and that is the Connecticut Association of Boards of Education Guidelines on the Dissemination of Information, and a summary of communication guidelines from attorney Thomas B. Mooney, an acknowledged legal expert on Connecticut school law, have been given to appropriate personnel within the school system and to every Board of Ed member. Attorney Mooney, by the way, is a key legal counsel at Shipman and Goodwin, and that's a law firm that has been retained by the school district. School administrators, Board of Education members, and anyone else who might have a key role in communicating with parents, guardians, and school supporters should know the who, what, when, where, and why rules and stipulations baked into the SEC communication guidelines and state law. But I cannot personally guarantee this. My concern, however, is with the spirit and intent of this ordinance. I believe they are duplicitous. Commentary heard during the 5 budget seasons during my tenure on the Board of Ed, and heard recently at the public hearing on April 4th, and even written as late as this afternoon in one of the blogs of a Bethel digital news service, lead me to believe that limiting communication rights of the education community, in particular, prior to a pending referendum, is the real objective of the proposed ordinance. The school district and the Board of Education have been advised by their legal consultant not to relinquish their protected rights to advocate on issues and to communicate with their stakeholders. These rights allow the board and the district to provide factual information to parents, guardians, and education stakeholders that help these people make an informed decision when they vote. These rights allow the education stakeholders to be encouraged to attend meetings and speak in favor of an annual budget if they are inclined to do so. And these rights allow asking their support of a very important initiative. None of these stakeholders can be forced to do anything, but they are free to make their own choices based on the factual information provided. Board of Ed and school district personnel have been advised and are expected to abide by the laws that gives them the right to advocate in the first place. If the veiled objective of this ordinance proves to be true, and the real intent is to force hard copy documents to be mailed throughout the year to all postal patrons in Bethel, the cost to the town will be monumental. All or none would have to be expanded beyond the school system to every town department that operates with public funding and who regularly or periodically communicates with their stakeholders. That means Park and Rec, the Health Department, the Public Library, the Senior Center, the Visiting Nurses, the Emergency Management Department, and the like. This would be a nonsensical outcome of this ordinance if this ordinance expands beyond the timing mandated by the state's SEE statute, i.e., when a referendum is declared pending. I urge the Board of Selectmen to turn down the request to put this ordinance in place. People of Bethel have sufficient ways to stay in constant touch with town affairs and issues. Lastly, we all need to keep in mind that any private citizen living in Bethel also has First Amendment rights to advocate support of a budget after a referendum has been declared pending. If I choose to advocate for approval of the school budget, I know I must do so at my own expense, on my own time, in a non-publicly funded place, using my own phones and my own computer. I intend to do that with this budget because I will not allow my rights to be usurped by an ill-conceived idea like all or none ordinance, the all or none ordinance being proposed. Thank you.